Poverty is a chronic societal problem. Nearly one half of the world's population, more than 3 billion people, live on less than $2.50 a day. More than 1.3 billion people live in extreme poverty, defined as less than $1.25 a day. Poverty and gender inequality are intertwined. Women are more likely than men to be poor due to a lack of access to finance, education, training, and the formal labor market. Outreach to women is a key facet in almost all poverty relief efforts. Microfinance organizations, or MFOs, have emerged as a promising tool to alleviate poverty and empower women by making small loans to the poor, especially to poor women. However, the effectiveness of MFOs in alleviating poverty and empowering women is debated. There is also a lot of variance in the degree to which different MFOs focus on female clients. So it begs the question, why are some MFOs more successful in fulfilling their social mission of lending to women than others? To investigate this, we studied over 2,000 MFOs in 115 developing countries, focusing on how different configurations of gender equality within a country affect microfinance lending to women. Gender inequality is manifested in beliefs and practices in various societal sectors, such as religion, the family, the state, and in the professions. Looking across these sectors, we collected data that measures the extent to which women are disadvantaged in religious practices, the family division of labor, access to professional training and careers, and in political participation. What we found was that for countries with stronger gender inequality across sectors, MFOs have a significantly reduced focus on women borrowers. This is because strong gender inequality tends to limit the supply of female customers seeking loans, female employees working for MFOs, and local government funding support. All of this makes it more difficult for MFOs to lend to women. However, we found that gender inequality doesn't just range from strong to weak, as implied in existing research. Rather, there is a consistent pattern where, as a nation becomes more integrated into the world society, we see women start to make advances in the state and in the professions, but progress is much slower in religion and in the family. What is interesting is that MFOs with the most outreach to women are not in countries where patriarchy and gender inequality are ostensibly the lowest. Rather, they're in countries where gender inequality manifests unequally across these sectors. The contrast between growing inequality in some areas of society and ongoing oppression in others draws attention to women's issues and motivates women to become involved in remediation efforts. As a result, more professional women work in microfinance, and there is more government funding support for microfinance organizations in these countries. Both factors are associated with a greater focus on lending to women. In comparison, lower gender inequality across sectors can mask deeper ongoing inequities. The result is fewer professional women choosing to work in microfinance and less local funding support. So, even though there is a strong and ongoing need for loans to women in these nations, we see less outreach. In short, gender inequality is not one thing. It is manifested in varied patterns of configurations across sectors of a society. Different configurations of gender inequality provide unique sets of opportunities and constraints that shape MFO's social outreach efforts in significant ways. These effects are not always straightforward, and this suggests that different steps are required to marshal support for outreach to women in different national contexts. Our study informs research and practices around various types of categorical inequality based on gender, race, social class, etc., and helps organizations recognize where they would face the strongest challenges and where there is more support for redress efforts and resource flows as they strive to address important social problems.